before you continue, I want to say a special thank you to your sister, bro, because if your sister didn't tell you that, it wouldn't have WrestleManiac.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have met you like. Oh, so okay. Backstory: I saw Mekz years ago when he had a clothing line, and that's the first time I saw Mekz. So when I saw him again, I was like, "This guy looks so familiar." Then he told me from North London, and I got a cousin that's from North London. I was like, "Do you know my cousin?" And he goes, "Yeah." And after I think he said something about your clothing, I was like, "That's where I know you from."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a little story there, but it's crazy times. What do you think about clothing line? Just obviously off, but
I'm still very much interested in fashion and clothing and stuff, but it's now I understand it. Now I understand it literally isn't about the clothing.
just getting a t-shirt and slap,
It's literally not.
It's not like wrestling much.
Bruv, I was so, at that time, I was so engrossed in that and the clothing and the materials and this, that and the other and cuts and this, that and the other. And no marketing.
Yeah.
Like, you can see from whether it's Instagram brands or TikTok brands and stuff these days, it's about marketing. It's about making sure the people can find it and all of that kind of stuff. So now I know better than like, it's something that's always still of interest. But, bruv, I've got my hand in too many pies right now. It's something it's going to be, I see time, I see money. I'm definitely going to do something again.
Part of evolution, isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe. But it's just all about kind of right now, like I say, we're in that season of transition, prioritizing what's right and all of that kind of stuff. And, I feel like this is what this platform is here going to help us with as well, kind of addressing these things that as men as well, we struggle with, not away from fathers, just as men and stuff that we struggle with as well.
Yeah. Well,
I was gonna say, what do you think are like some of the common struggles that men face?
I think one of the common struggles that men face sometimes, I could say, loneliness. I don't know if you've been down that. Actually, wait, this was like uni times. So when you don't have anyone to speak to, or like, not having someone to like speak, like a partner or something, you begin to get lonely. Especially when you've just come out of a relationship and you've gone to a new one. That's one thing I'd say, hurts people. And even just having the whole thing of like trying to be, for me as a Ghanaian, it was like Ghanaians have a thing of like trying to be there for someone. If I can't be there for someone, it hurts me. It just pains me. Like Mekz told me, or one of my friends told me, "Oh, can you just edit for me?" I'm dick. I get it done. I have to get it done. Another thing as well is just trying to be strong, man. Being strong all the time is kind of hard. Like I didn't even tell you. I don't think I even told you, but I told Del and that there was one day I was dropping the kids to school. Like it's actually 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. Dropping the kids to school. A lot of stuff was boiling in my head. Like I was just like thinking about bare stuff, thinking about the company, thinking about rest things, thinking about just everything. Just in my head, I was just getting worked up. Dropped the kids to school. As I dropped the kids to school, I just dropped them and walked out. I didn't even say to the teacher. I just went and walked out. I just went back in the car and I was chilling there. We're driving to the gym. I was just looking out the window, just looking around. I just crashed out, bro. I had a mental breakdown. So yeah, bro, just crying out and just like saying, bro, I feel worthless, I feel like shit, like don't know what I'm doing. This whole business thing is like, is this really working right? Like the people like rest things, like just crashing out. And I was like, we were just like, oh Lord, don't worry, like it's fine, cry, like it's fine. Just like crying. And after eventually I just once I stopped and I just put my head down, I was like, not that why the fuck did I do that, but it's like why like what, like it's gonna be fine, man. It's gonna be cool. Like just relax. Like. So yeah, I told Derek as well, and I told Ola and Laps, and I was like, shit, you wouldn't have thought that because I went wrestling training the same day. Okay, yeah. And even when I was in the gym, Laps was PTing me in the gym, like training me in the gym, and I just had to look on. As soon as I went, I just wiped my eyes, just went in. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, it's crazy, man. So yeah, just trying to be strong, man.
That release is needed from time to time. Bro. That release of just, if it's tears or whatever, like mental health, obviously there's so much stuff out there about men's mental health, and it's just not looked after because like we're talking about common sources of what makes men crash out or flipping, struggle with. It is mental health. It is finances. It is, your identity. Like even from us that were like inner city kids from London once upon a time, and what we were grown up to think about maybe other people, other races, other this, other that. Getting rid of all of that now. You can't do certain things, you can't say certain things. It's 2025. You've got to change the way, like, I'm sure I see people that were like the biggest bullies, the biggest gangbangers on LinkedIn here, doing off LinkedIn. And
It's nice though. It's very nice.
It's refreshing
nice,
to see, but it's just like, boy, once upon a
time, you're a tyrant.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like, I just think in terms of a lot of things, and I'm not saying women don't obviously go through the same, but with, I guess, society and men being quote unquote providers and head of the household and leaders and all of these kind of buzzwords, I just feel like sometimes you need those moments.
Yeah,
you need those moments to just, like I said, lay it out, start again, and What would you say is some other things like you might have struggled with in regards to that?
I think, like, I don't know if this happened to you, yeah. You see when you first had a child, like when you first had your first one, like, did you have that moment where your missus do better things, you're just standing there?
Yeah.
You look like a wet fish, like, you're just like, okay. And after her mum walks in, you're just standing like, shit, like,
what do I do? How can I help him?
How can I help?
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing.
You can't, yeah.
You can't. And your missus just crashing out at you as well, like.
In some cases you can't. Like, in some cases, of course you can. But in some cases, I don't think you can. Like, my daughter, she was fully breastfed. She had no interest in the bottle from day dot. So, like, waking up in the night, I guess you could wake up in the night to be supportive and maybe, I don't know, pat your wife's back or whatever. but I have nothing that I can give her.
Yeah, what can I do? Yeah.
She's not going to take the bottle. So it means the onus is unfortunately just on my missus in that situation. And then that wrecks her day because then she hasn't slept. Like, there's literally nothing I can do in some situations. So,
and that's a hard thing as well for men.
100%.
Like, with that, it's a ripple effect because it then comes down to you. She'll be taking stuff out on you, and like when I became a father, I just had to realize that, because there's one day I came up from work and she crashed out on me. I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, I went to work to bring money to the house. Like, what the hell? But then again, it's like,
because of the day she's had.
Yeah, the day she's had. So like, you don't realize that, and it's like, you know, I'm here now, and like, I'm trying to be there for you and stuff. But we're humans. That's one thing. We're all humans at the end of the day. Like, we're like emotionally all over the place, like all emotionally stable. So I hear it when she done that. So yeah, it's just funny, man.
It is. There's a lot of struggles, man. Like, even like I was talking about earlier, it's work-life balance as well. Like, making sure you can go out, do your job, bring money for the household and all that kind of stuff, but also be there when you're there, 100% kind of being there as well, being present. That's something that I'm actively working on and stuff like that.
Especially as, you know, content, obviously you got work, right? And you've got content creators, you're content creators. But besides the content creation, there's also stuff that we have to watch every single day of the week. Wrestling. Wrestling takes up so much time. I don't watch wrestling around my kids anymore. Actually, not anymore, but only time I let them watch wrestling was Royal Rumble. And that's the first and last time they watched wrestling. But watching that takes up so much time. So like, it's hard, like, to even give time. But for example, to like, if there's like a pay-per-view or PLE on a Saturday night, you know, Sunday night you're baked.
Finished.
Sunday you're baked.
You're done.
You're done. So it's like, it's weird. It's a hard thing, man, to maneuver around. But like we said, it's part of the evolution, right?
Like I spoke about earlier, it's like not so much social expectations, but your parents' expectations. What about for yourself? Is there any kind of parental or like social expectations that weighs heavily on you?
Not anymore. My parents have always been supportive. As soon as I finished university, they've always been supportive. They've always helped us out. Always tried to like skill us in the right place. Mum, like, you know, my mum's always like told us like, let me get it right before I get killed. My dad's always told me this, like, seek the kingdom of God and all shall be added unto you. I think it's
that's correct.
Book of Matthew.
The saying is correct.
Yeah, that. So he's always used that, and that's always been stuck in my head, innit? Like, try and do things by God and things with reality. So he's always used that to try and put me back into the right place as well. But as you can see, my family, like, we're all like 5 boys, all doing stuff with our lives. Like, one of them is a football player, plays for West Ham. One of them's a boxer, pro boxer.
You've got the most sporting family.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, and I don't know if this is part of my evolution as well, but I wanted to go down the football route as well. My dad said no. Obviously, like, he saw different things happen at the time. Obama just became president. So when I was applying for these colleges, I wanted to go Redbridge to play football.
Yeah.
My dad was like, nah, myth. So I kind of channeled that through my little brother, taking him to football training, being at these Sunday league games. I remember there was one Sunday league, I will never forget this day, bro. I will never forget this day. So there was a teammate he had on the team, right? And I was like, could you give us a lift to the game? We're going there together. He goes, there's no space in the car. Sorry, you're gonna have to make your own way. I was like, okay, cool, fair enough. We got on a bus. The journey was like from Custom House all the way to Dagenham. And as a kid, that's in what I was in, like, year 9 years. That's long for my.
You were in year 9?
Yeah. I was young.
God, so your brother must be well
No,
young.
was it year 9? Like year 11. So year 10, year 11. So we were going to like this match just far away. I remember walking for time. I've got there now. The guy's there. The guy and the mum was there. The car is empty, bro. I said, bro, you're trying to just spite us, bro. He could have taken us, like, what the hell? But obviously with those dark days and those rainy days, it's all helped out. Look where he is now. So
is that guy's son still playing football?
I've not seen him. I don't know.
Your brother's here.
Yeah, FA Cup youth winner as well.
Yeah.
So it's that really, and just as Ghanaian, like I said before, Ghanaian culture is like just trying to be there for people, trying to help people out. Not say people pleasers, but it's part of our culture, especially in my house as well. We would always love to help people out. Yeah. Always, man. So yeah. Yeah. Is that same with you?
Yeah, I think another struggle in a sense where I've moved like somewhat away from my side of the family. So we live in an area where a lot of Rosie's side of the family are, and they're great and they support us with the kids and everything like that. At times it leaves me on my own there, sort of thing. So they're very cool, they're very welcoming and stuff like that. And I'm sure if they saw this, they would be round all the time just to support. Like that's the kind of people they are. But it's obviously I knew what I was getting into when I decided to move because the prices in London are stupid.
That's for another episode. Yeah. Living in London or living
mate. Yeah, it's one of them ones. So you feel a bit, unless I'm coming to London to see you guys, yourself and the rest of the man them and stuff like that, or my day one guys and my brother and my parents, like otherwise I'm not making the journey into London, sort of thing. So that's who I have is who I have, innit?
Your village,
Yeah, exactly. An amazing village, like I say. It's just not like infused with my side of the family. So sometimes that's a bit of a struggle. But
same thing. Like I'm more the Caribbean side of my family are round us, so like, we're all living like where we live now. Like it's the majority of my missus side, and it's nice because they're very helpful. Like there's times where, for example, there was a day where I was getting podcast, but Ria found out she had to go to like an influencer sort of event on the day, so we called up the assistant. It's like, I can come. So stuff
to babysit.
Yeah. So that's a blessing, man. It's nice, so we can just do that. But if we lived in like where my mum lives, like it's a different. I don't know. Maybe I'm sure it'll be the same thing, but I'll probably think where like we have to take the kids there, then we go off our journey. But it's always nice to have a village around you, man.
It is.
Yeah. Have you ever paid for a babysitter?
No, I don't think I'm at the point of trusting anybody yet.
I'm shook. Yeah, I'm shook.
I don't know. Like I really think I would struggle. Yeah. Like handing my kids over to someone that's... I struggle handing my kids over to anyone that's even like not my mom, not my sister.
Yeah.
My brother loves them kids, but I don't know if I could leave my brother with them.
You come back, your brother's no matter.
Yeah, it's just because of your kids, innit? At the same time, like so. Yeah, like my missus side of the family has helped, obviously, and obviously I trust her mom, I trust my mom and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's one thing in the near future I need to kind of start mentally separating myself. Maddie McCann has finished me.
That too, and also, bro, I'm very very, what's the word I'm looking for? I was raised up on Nollywood films, right? And that explains everything. That's what you need to know. Nollywood films portrays the babysitter or the person coming to your house as some sort of like witch. So I'm very like cautious on who's coming. Like if I was to get a babysitter, answer your DSB check on them because like what are you? What God you worship? Two, are you into crystals and all this tarot cards and all this sort of stuff? I don't want to come home with my son's like, I want to be a witch. I want to be a wizard. God forbid. I want to make sure it's like, you know, like who's coming to look after my kids or touch my kids is like proper like on it. I think school, I don't know. People gonna say, what about school? I think school might be different, but school's different. Yeah. But my son goes to a Catholic school, so that explains it all. But like when it comes down to like a babysitting, I just been very.
Because babysitter's in your house as well, innit? Like, so I think it's the them coming into you guys' space, as well as who the heck are they? Like, like I'm not all there yet with babysitters and stuff. So yeah, it's difficult managing that one.